Hey, muscle mommies and muscle daddies. I think the only reason why the daddies would be here today is if they want to understand the vagina more, maybe because they want to satisfy their partner more, and they also maybe feel a little bit like, what the fuck is up with sex and why can't I talk about it? Why is it so taboo to me? So they're like, let's click on this and let's try to normalize it with Miss Muscle Mommy here, Ali Marriott. And you're here in the right fucking place, let me tell you. I'm all for it for today. We're talking about vaginas. We're talking about sex. We're talking about shame around all of it. We're talking about giving head. We're talking about masturbating. We're going to talk about as much as I can spit out of my mouth right now. Now, let's start off with the fact that this is completely unprofessional advice. I am not a sex doctor. I'm just a girl with a vagina. I do listen to Sex with Emily. Dr. Emily Morse, she is a sex goddess because she knows how to normalize sex in the most perfect way through her podcasts. And I suggest you go follow her if you want to listen to more sex positive talk and just have genuine questions about masturbating, the bedroom, vaginas, penises, whatever you want to ask, whatever you want to know about, she's got it. So I'm gonna try not to talk out of my ass today. And what I mean by that is if there's genuine things we're talking about that are more health related, I will, that's why the disclaimer is coming now. I don't actually know the answer to your problems if you're having problems in the bedrooms or problem with masturbating, but I can have a little helping hand. Here's my little helping hand. I'm giving it to you right now. Okay, let's do our breath in and our breath out of the day. Because I'm so pumped about this episode, we need to take our breath in and breath out now. Are you ready? We're going to do one that I did today when I was meditating. So it's in for 4, hold for 7, exhale for 8. But I'm actually not going to be doing it with you guys because I have to count for you guys. All right, here we go. Inhale through our nose. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold for 7, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and exhale for 8. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, now give me my second to do mine. Okay, here we go. You can do it again. I'm still here, don't worry. That sounded creepy as fuck. I definitely cheated on that 8-second exhale. I hope you guys just calmed your vagus nerve all down your body just because of that breath. That's why it's so important to breathe, guys. I've been ending my workouts with some breath work and woo! Man, I love it. All right, this is truly going to be the power of the clit episode. We're going to start with talking about the God complex behind vaginas. So the first thing I want to mention is we need to stop calling people pussies when we're trying to call them weak, because you're literally calling a vagina weak, a pussy weak, okay? Pussies are strong. If we want to be our strongest versions of ourselves, being a muscle mommy, then we need to start with not calling people pussies. Call them cowards, call them chickens, call them weak, call them not brave, but we're not going to be calling them pussies, because today we are taking a full turnaround on the word pussy and we're going to put power to it. Okay, so we're going to start with this complex that we need to understand. And this is going to help you as we keep talking about things. This is going to help you with shame. I remember seeing discharge for the first time in my underwear and I'm just like, what the fuck is this? And I was just like, and I remember I said it to my mom one time. I was like, Mom, and I don't know how I described it to her. Maybe I was like, what's you ever get a little white stuff or clear stuff in your underwear? And she's like, oh yeah, that's discharge. And I'm like, oh, I just didn't understand it. And you feel or at least I did for the first time, felt a little dirty when I saw it. But discharge is your vagina cleaning itself. But as a girl, you're embarrassed by it. You're folding up your panties, you're sticking them in your laundry, you're folding them up when you go to the gyno and sticking them in your purse as if the person's gonna go into your purse and check your underwear. You are what the fuck is this thing? I feel dirty for having discharge on my underwear. So that's where I think some embarrassment starts when you're younger. Obviously the biggest one, the embarrassment usually starts at is the period. Getting your period when you're in middle school or even when you're in elementary school or high school. I got my 9th grade. I the way that we are so fucking embarrassed to get a tampon or get a pad. We're hiding in our sleeve. oh my God, like we're whispering, like, do you have a tampon? Do you have a pad? Or you like privately go to the nurse to get one. It's like this taboo thing. And it's weird because like it makes sense when you're like a younger girl embarrassed to talk about it in front of guys because you're like, oh my God, they're gonna think I'm gross. Um, there's probably nothing grosser than a middle school boy, so like don't worry, you're not gross for having a period. The problem is we get so grossed out by ourselves in our natural way of like shedding the walls of our vagina and our vagina cleaning itself that we don't even want to talk about it with our friends. And that's where it starts this like taboo feeling of like, I'm masturbating. Are my friends masturbating? I have my period. Like, do my friends have their period? And I think it starts with like just talking to your friend about little things like that. And it'll make all the difference to start like a comfortable environment where you guys can just talk about it. Like, yeah, I'm getting my period today. And now I talk about my period in public. And if people are grossed out by it, that's not my fault. I don't really care. It's not something that like, if you're grossed out by periods, then suck my clit. Like, I don't really care. I should have said suck my bloody clit because that would have been funnier. Well, I just said it. Anyways, if you're grossed out by periods, I don't really know what to tell you, except that, like, the natural cycle of a woman is gross to you. Well, you know what? Then don't have my fucking babies. You know what I mean? We should be talking about periods more. We should be talking about everything more. We should be talking about sex more. We should be talking about masturbating more. And normalizing this kind of stuff is what's going to truly help you feel more comfortable in the bedroom, feel more comfortable to explore yourself, feel more comfortable to talk about it with your partner, to set boundaries in the bedroom, to talk about what you like in the bedroom. This is going to help you with everything. So that's where it starts with, like, you need to understand your pussy is powerful, okay? Now, we're going to talk about what vaginas look like. Oh, this is my favorite topic. Audi Club. Everyone high five. If you're on Spotify right now, like high five me right now. Audi Club, okay? I'm not going to assume people know what things are in this podcast. So when I say Audi, I mean like the lips of your, what is it, your labia minora? I say minora. It's definitely not pronounced labia minora. We're going to call it the labia minora just because I think it's funny. Like almost like a menorah you light, okay? We're Jewish today. So the labia minora, this is the definition: 2 inner folds of the skin located within the labia majora. So the labia majora is like the outer lips of the vulva. When you're looking at a vagina, what you're seeing is the vulva, and the inside is like the vaginal canal. So on Sex with Emily, she calls it penis owners and vulva owners. She doesn't say vagina owners because it's a vulva. Like we don't talk about it correctly. And I also just learned the G-spot was like named by a man that doesn't even have a G-spot, and she's like wanting to not call it a G-spot anymore, and I thought that was so interesting. Love that. So let's start the petition with her. But for the sake of this video, since like that's a common word, I'm probably just gonna end up using that because I don't know what else I'm gonna say. But what I was gonna say is like outies versus innies. So people have vaginas where like their lips are out. People have vaginas where their lips are completely tucked in. And I remember the first time seeing my friends, I was like, what is that? Like, why don't we have the same vagina? I have seen vaginas like mine. That helped because I was like, oh, okay, I'm not alone in this like Audi gang. But then I remember like having like seen a lot of innie vaginas, especially if you watch porn. Porn, like a lot of people have, what is the surgery where you get your labia tucked in? Labiaplasty is a surgery. Labiaplasty. I used to like say I wanted a labiaplasty, like being so ridiculous. What was I saying? Labiaplasty? Vaginas, outies, innies. Who's calling me? Sophia's calling me. Recording episode about vaginas right now. Okay. She'll be listening to this at work next Wednesday, so hey, Soph. She's one of my besties, so she knows how I am with vaginas. She remembers the era of me being shocked that people's vaginas look different. She knows the era of me looking up pictures of vaginas and diagrams and everything. But anyways, that's how my friends know me, I feel like. I'm also the friend that like, you know, when you get initiated into like a sorority or a frat, I feel like being initiated into being friends with me is like, I get you a vibrator for your birthday if I find out you don't have one, which I think is like, why wouldn't you have one? They're the best things in the world, and like you won't know until you have one. Anyways, we're talking about vibrators later. Let's save it. Outies and innies, you're so like shocked, I think, as a young person when you've seen other people's vaginas and they're not like yours. And you're like, I just don't understand. Or like sometimes you're like, where's the clit? Where's your clit? Wait, this is where my clit is. And vaginas I get so curious about. It's so interesting to me. So obviously not everyone just has like an innie or an outie. So there's gonna be, maybe we should come up with a new term for people that have like both. It goes in and out. What I usually do is me and my friends just think of funny names for them. So like, you know, people say roast beef. I used to be insecure by that, but I'm not anymore. I think I just have to embrace the outie vagina. Look, you know, some people say, we say hot dog buns. I'm like, you know, you got a hot dog bun, I got roast beef, you know, come to the deli, come to me. I'll come over to you if I need to grill a hot dog. Or you got like, could be anything. You could be an octopus, you could be a squid, you could be bologna, salami, whatever you want to call it. Have fun with it, okay? We don't need to be embarrassed the way our vaginas look because our vaginas are fucking powerful. I remember the first time I ever admitted I had an outie vagina on a podcast and I was freaking out. I will link that podcast below. Look at how far I've grown. Growing up, it was that. It was like the periods everyone's grossed out by. The look of your vagina you're scared about people seeing. Everything. There's like your discharge, everything. And then is like the odor. So the odor is a huge thing because I feel like vaginas have a certain smell. And I know like, well, I don't know every vagina smells different because I haven't like gone down on women, but like I know naturally probably everyone's odor is like different, but there are some similarities, like certain infections bring on certain smells. You know, ovulation brings on certain types of discharge. Like there are some commonalities, but vagina has a natural like vaginal odor to it. I think it's just like one of those things where when you're in high school and people start having sex or they're dating people and then you start hearing stories of like, oh my God, that girl smells like fish. Oh my God, like, oh my God, did you know Josh said that her pussy smelled like fish? And you're just like, wait, what? Does my pussy smell like fish? Oh no, this is scary. You hear one person talk about it, and like it's always like the immature, insecure little men that like can't keep their high school sex lives private, which like I'm not a person to keep my sex life private. Like I'm going to tell my friends about it, but in high school if you're just going out telling people, then you know the rumor's going to spread. Like stop embarrassing girls, like let them fucking be. But yeah, so there's like certain smells, like people say there's like a metal smell when you get, well, I don't know how you call it though, it's like not a metal smell, but like that's the best way to say it. But there's like a certain smell that like you'll smell when you get closer to your period, and there's all these different smells. There's like smells when you have yeast infections. I've never had one, so I don't know, but I know that that's like a thing. There's just a natural smell to people's vaginas, and like not saying that it's bad, some people love it, but like growing up you don't know that like men are attracted to your pheromones, your smell, your vagina. So you're just kind of like, oh my God, this is like a disgusting, shameful part of me that I'm scared to let a partner see. Or at least that's where I kind of was at. I was so nervous, like let alone someone seeing my titties, like seeing my vagina. Oh my God, forget about it. I think if I had a boyfriend in high school, he wouldn't have been loud down there. I would have been like, get the fuck out. I'm too insecure. Now I'm not insecure about it. That's the thing with like the odor is like, I think everyone's scared to accept that like vaginas don't smell like rainbows and like peaches and strawberries. Yes, you can do things to make your vagina, like I know people say pineapple juice and cranberry, like, but that's also the health of your vagina. So like if you are fixing your diet up to be something that is like helping the bacteria in your vagina, or that's just helping your vagina health, it's probably going to smell better because of it. But you don't need to be ashamed of a natural odor smell you have. You should be hygienic, obviously, so we don't get infections over here. But, like, you don't need to be embarrassed about how you smell because everybody has a smell and it's not necessarily a bad smell. So cut the shit. And if you're a guy like complaining about a girl's smell, and I'm not saying like I get if like your partner has an infection and you're like, "Oh, like this is something very off." Or you know, maybe you just worked out and you like don't want to go down on your girl. That kind of makes sense because I think if my partner had like sweaty ass balls and it smelled like a ton of BO, I probably wouldn't want to be licking like smelly BO unless I have like a stank kink. So like I get that. Like a lot of people don't want their mouth near things that smell, but I'm talking like an infection type of smell or like a workout smell. The natural smell of a vagina is just very normal and natural. So like if you can't handle that, then maybe you're just not into vaginas. Maybe you're into another gender. Okay? Now I'm getting defensive here. And that's where criticizing also comes in. If you feel that you're being judged by your partner in any way, if you feel that you're scared to grow hair down there because you don't know what your partner will think, that's not your partner then. That's not your guy. You got the wrong girl here. You got the wrong guy here. You got the wrong person. If you have somebody that is just genuinely like gonna judge you for whether it's your kinks or it's the way you orgasm, or just anything that's a vulnerable part of you or a sexual part of you that they want to judge you for, then you're with the wrong person. But if you are a partner of somebody who has some kinks that you've never explored, or maybe it's your first time going down on somebody, or maybe it's your first time having sex with somebody, or, you're having sex with a new partner, whatever it is, if you feel that there's something taboo about the situation to you, which everybody really is taboo. You can't just say that you're good at sex, because it's like saying I'm good at playing the violin, so that means I'm good at playing the saxophone, I'm good at playing the cello, I'm good at playing the drums, I'm good at playing the guitar. That's not true. Everybody beats to their own drum. Is that what you say? Beats to their own drum? I don't know. I'm Nick Jonas. Haley will check me on that. She knows about drums. If you have a partner that has a taboo thing that you're just not used to, get curious. Get curious, ask questions. But if you're sitting there judging, then who's going to feel comfortable with you if you're judging? And if you're the person on the other side of that and you felt judged, it's the feeling of not wanting to get even more sexually vulnerable with someone because you feel judged. Guys, my eye's twitching. Please comment if you know what to do. It's been 2 weeks and I'm hydrating. Don't even tell me I'm not hydrating. I am. And I'm not stressed. I'm talking about vaginas right now. I literally can't be any less stressed. Oh, guys, to do my homework for this, I masturbated. And we're going to talk about masturbation next. But we're going to stay on this topic quickly because I want to address hair. All right. I am so proud of this. Okay. Both times that I've had somebody go down on me, it just happened to be a night that I didn't shave. And I'm not talking oh, I'm upkeeping this thing every day and I just skipped that day and I didn't shave and there was a little bit of stubble. No, I'm talking I hadn't shaved in a while. I don't grow like a bush. I don't really even know what you can consider a bush because I feel like my hair is very flat, but I didn't shave. And the reason why I'm bringing this up is because what was great about it was that I felt setting the standard of yeah, you're going down on me right now and I'm not shaving at all is setting the standard of you should be expecting this, and anything different is just gonna be a treat. Now, actually, I don't even want to say a treat. I don't want to say that because I think that I think me saying a treat means that a bald vagina is better than a hairy one, which it's not. I'm just saying I don't want the expectation that I'm going to be completely a skinless cat down there. Oh my God. Memory just came up. I mean, the first time I ever shaved my vagina. And I'm also one of those people, I get very lucky because I don't really grow vagina on my bikini line. I don't really grow a bunch of, I just said I don't grow a bunch of vagina. Oh my God. I don't grow a bunch of pubic hair on my bikini line. So it's just easier for me to shave. But I remember the first time I ever shaved and I looked in the mirror and I was like, what the fuck? I was really young too. Actually, I don't know how young I was because it took me a while to grow hair. So let's say I was in high school and I remember looking in the mirror and I was like, I don't like this. I'm I look like a fucking hairless cat. I thought I looked like a chicken. I literally thought I looked like a chicken with the freaking, you know what I'm talking about, the neck. And I also have an outie vagina. So it's exactly what you're picturing. So anyways, I remember looking at my vagina being what the fuck is this? And now I'm I feel all fuck the shit out of me. I'm extremely aroused now when I'm fully shaven. But I don't really care about my hair. I'll shave every every other week. I don't even know. I couldn't even tell you. I'm bad with timing too in my head. But I don't even know how much I shave. But the point is I don't really care about it. And what I want to make a point of for the people listening is you do not have to look a certain way down there for your partner to accept you or for your partner to even want to go down on you. And it shouldn't be a matter of did you trim up today? Did you shave? What? No. What? You don't need to. That what was giving Ali limo. Anyways, you don't need to look a certain way for anybody. You don't need to perform a certain way for anybody. Your partner doesn't feel comfortable with seeing you with armpit hair, leg hair, pubic hair anywhere. Just tell me you're insecure. Just say you're insecure because I'm not over here complaining about your hair. And there's this weird standard where I feel that we don't expect men to shave, but then we're expected to shave You do what you want to do. If you want to shave your armpits, your legs, your vagina, shave it. If they want to shave, if they don't want to shave it. It's up to you. But like, let that be up to you and not up to the male gaze or what you think somebody's going to find you more attractive if you were to do. If you have a bush and you love your bush, keep the bush. Why are we trying to mow the lawn if you don't want to mow the lawn? If I don't expect my partner to shave, then he shouldn't expect me to shave. I'm not gonna lie, sometimes shaving and then having that stubble after is like, it hurts. So like, honestly, get a little fluffy coat, get something going there, and I'll be fine with it. I'll be fine with it for myself. It's only when it gets uncomfortable where I'm like, I'm shaving you, bitch. But embrace it, baby. Masturbation. Oh, let's talk about masturbation. I just got so dialed in when I said that. All right. Let's talk about mindful masturbation. What the fuck is that? I know, right? I've been hearing that being said lately, and I've been thinking about it more lately because I'm a very mindful person. I'm like, what's mindful masturbation? Sign me up. To my understanding, like, mindful masturbation is just basically like tapping into yourself while you're masturbating. And I think that's something that women have to do a lot more than like men have to do. And I'm not just like trying to generalize, but I know how like it's sometimes a lot harder for women to orgasm because they have to either focus so intensely or they have to not focus at all. I think for us, usually we're having to focus more because I think there's just so many ways to like stimulate our own vulvas that we don't even like, we don't know like where to even go sometimes, especially because we've been taught through like porn, oh, you come from sex, you come from intercourse, you come from riding dick, you come from this. You like, we think that like we're supposed to have intercourse to come and that's how it works. When most of the time, we're not even having orgasms through intercourse. It's through like rubbing your clit or using a vibrator or both. We don't need to perform. And when I say we don't need to perform, you know what I'm talking about. I'm not just talking about faking orgasms. I'm talking about the made up fucking moans. I think it was sad when I realized how normalized it was that people were faking orgasms. And like before I ever had sex, I remember I was like, I'm making it a goal to never fake an orgasm. Because to me, then I'm just like people pleasing my partner. Like I'm just trying to make him feel good about himself, so I'm gonna orgasm. No, you can't make me orgasm. Take your dick out, do your little thing, and then fucking do something to me. I mean, no shame to him, because sometimes it could be my problem. I'm just not like aroused enough or it's taking me longer. That's fine, but like don't leave me out of this. I need orgasm too. We're having sex. I don't want to fake orgasms. And you know what? I will say this though. I think a lot of people fake them because they want to be done with sex, which is sad. Like that's just sad that you feel that like you're in a position where you have to fake it to get it over with. And at that point, should you even be having sex in that moment? Now, like if you've been in a scenario where this is like you felt like you're being forced to have sex, like that's a whole nother story. But I'm saying like if you are saying yes to sex and your person does respect consent, which is like crazy that I have to even say that because there's so many issues with consent. But like if you have a partner that respects consent and they've asked for consent and you just kind of like do it to satisfy them, let's pause and stop for a second and like you don't need to put on a face. You don't need to put on a face of like, hey, I'm this aroused sexual person if you don't feel aroused and into sex that day. So if you feel like you're orgasming and you're trying to be this type of person for your partner, you're probably not even orgasming at all, which really sucks. Like, you don't want that for yourself. A way to, I think, get out of that is understanding that, like, we are not porn stars. There is no camera rolling. Our vaginas don't have to look perfectly tucked away. We don't have to have our tits beautifully bouncing. We don't have to have an hourglass body with our ass all propped up in the air looking voluptuous. We are as we are. Our bodies are as they are, and you come as you are. Oh my God, I just referenced the book. You guys should read that book, Come As You Are. But you don't need to perform because sex is about you too. It's not just about them. And we watch porn where we like see some people moaning so much. We think that that's what we have to do to be sexy. I think moaning can be something that can get you aroused. Like if you start to like bring some sound into it, but if it becomes fully performative and you actually don't feel anything at that time and you're just doing it for the other person, then the sex is not even about you anymore. It's about them. And then you're not going to get what you need out of it. Like, you're not going to be able to get your own sexual needs met, which is unfair. We don't need to moan. We don't need to be porn stars. We don't need to look beautifully perked up, shaved, naked cats with our hair just blow dried, makeup done. We come to the bedroom as we are, okay? And your partner is going to accept you, if they are the right partner, as you are. We don't need to perform. There's no performing here. If you can't make me orgasm, let the guy, like, let your partner feel bad about it for a second. I mean, like, come on. And here's the thing. I don't want to say that it's like the partner's fault if you're not orgasming. I totally don't think that's true. But, you know, I'm talking about those cases where, like, you're with somebody who is just only focused on their orgasm, and then you're not orgasming at all, and then they're just, like, not even making sure you get there. They're not even asking you. They're not considering you. They're only considering their own pleasure. My shoulders and biceps look huge right now. Anyways, you know, if you have a partner that's just like completely ignoring your sexual needs, and it's all about just like them coming and then they're done and they're like, okay, this sex is done. That's just really unfair, because why is it also so normalized that like men are coming all the time during sex and then we're just not? We need longer time. Vulvas need a lot longer time. Like, what I've heard through listening to a bunch of like sex shows, we need on average, what is it? Like, it's like 20 to 40 minutes to orgasm. And I'm not saying you have to be having sex for 20 to 40 minutes, but like, you need to be aroused for a while. And having to explain that to someone, oh my God, I can't hold off that long. Okay. So keep your dick in your pants, eat me out, and then we'll figure it out. But like, don't try to make it digestible for them. Like, don't try to be like, okay, fine, we'll speed it up. You know, take your time. If you need more time, take the time, baby. Man, I wish I had a partner right now to have sex with. I can't do this. I could do this. Which then brings me to like lead up. Foreplay. I've heard, and I'm sure a lot of you guys have heard, how like men are more spontaneous, where they can kind of just like get aroused really quickly and just be like, okay, you want to go have sex, and then you can go have sex and they'll be fine. Where I think women need a lot more arousal and lead up to it. And I think you guys should think about yourselves for a second and think like, what do I need leading up to sex that can make me aroused? Let's say my partner's really spontaneous, but I need that like longer period of time. What can bring me closer to that state of arousal that maybe my partner doesn't need, but I need? And like, what is it? So it could be having a deep conversation with them really like turns you on, makes you feel really emotionally connected. So it could be a deep conversation. Maybe you need to build that emotional connection before you have sex. It could be like texting throughout the day. It could be like just like getting a massage, or just being like touched by them, whether it's like hugged or scratched, or like something that makes you feel really good leading up to it, that may not be a sexual thing, but it can get you aroused and get you in that mode that maybe your partner just finds a lot quicker than you do. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with needing more foreplay. There's nothing wrong with like wanting oral sex before intercourse. That's normal. Here's another thing. Finding out that people are in relationships where they don't get head is shocking to me. Now, here's the thing. If you don't like giving head, I mean, maybe it's not for everybody. To me, like, it kind of, like, I can't really understand why somebody doesn't like giving head. I get, like, it could be uncomfortable sometimes, but, like, I think seeing the pleasure of your partner is really pleasurable to yourself, because it's like, oh, look at my partner getting off. This is pleasurable to me, even though nobody's sucking my dick right now. I think it goes both ways, where if you give head, you should be getting head. If you like the cunnilingus, you got to get the fellatio. If you are somebody who doesn't like giving head, then like just don't expect it. To me, oral sex should truly be like a give and take. If you're giving it, you should be getting it. And here's another thing. This is odd to me, because I think if you don't like giving head, then like part of me is like, suck it up, but maybe that's like mean of me to say and insensitive. Like, I don't know. Like, I guess maybe because the reason why I'm saying that insensitively is like because I would feel insecure if my partner didn't like giving head. That's why I think this is where that's coming from, of me being like, what's wrong with you? Because then I'm like, because if that was my situation, I'd feel insecure, because I'd be like, he doesn't like my vagina. I'm gonna go die now. But to me, like, foreplay needs to happen every time, and like oral sex needs to happen like almost every time. Like, that's how I look at it. We don't need to come from oral sex, but like That to me is like all in the lead up. So usually the refractory period is the stage between orgasms. I'm going to read this right here. So it's like it includes excitement, plateau, orgasm, and then resolution, and the refractory period is part of the resolution phase. The refractory period is like where you're able to then have an orgasm again. And so some people have longer periods of time, so they need to like take a long break and then they can go back into it. And it's almost like endurance, I think about it, like orgasm endurance. That's a better way to say it. Where it's like where girls, they're known to be able to have those periods of time. The refractory period is much shorter, so they can have multiple orgasms closer together because, I don't know, because again, pussy power. That's why. Let's cover sex in conversations with your partner, whether this is just a sexual partner or this is like a relationship partner. Like this is your significant other. Sex should be an ongoing conversation just because not everything you do is going to be the same every single time. And also, like, things change. Like, sometimes people don't always enjoy the things they used to. Sometimes they just don't enjoy things in that moment. Like, let's say I'm really into rough sex. I'm like, I want to be slapped. I want to be tied up. I want to be this. Does that mean I want that all the time? No. It can be like some days I'm looking to just be like coddled and like have like gentle, passionate, missionary sex. But some days, some people do want the roughness and all of that. So, like, having that conversation or that signal of like, this is what I want, or like, this is what we're not going to do now is important. And I think the most important part about having conversations about sex is having them out of the bedroom. Yes, you should be communicating in the bedroom. Yes, you should be communicating during intercourse, but sometimes it doesn't feel like there's either a time you don't want to kill the mood, or you just are like, I don't even know how to express this in the middle of this. So hold that thought and then just bring it later. Like you can bring this in whether it's like during aftercare, whether it's like you both have your clothes back on, but I think having a conversation about sex is so important. And I remember like that's something I always pushed for when I had a partner, was like talking about sex, because it needs to be talked about. What do you like? What's changing? What's something I've been doing recently that's really hot? What's something that's not sexual that I do that's really hot? What's something that you want in the bedroom? What's something that like we can try? It doesn't always need to be like, should we bring in the chains and whips? Like, what's new? It can be literally anything. It could just simply be like, I really liked when you were kissing my ear. I really liked when you were kissing my neck. We should do a little bit more of that. That felt really good. Or it could just be like a little compliment. I really like when you did that with your tongue. I really liked when you put your hand here, or like the way you made me feel after felt really good. Or like I saw that the foreplay helped me so much better getting to orgasm, and I think we should keep continuing that because it's helping me a lot. All of those types of things can be brought up, and it doesn't have to be during sex. Or even if there's something you don't like that went on and you're a little too scared to speak up during it, which is totally normal, you can just say afterward, you could be like, can we do less of that? Or like, I thought I would like that, but I realized that it's not really my thing. But I'm glad you tried it, so I know I didn't like it. If you don't want to make your partner feel embarrassed for trying something new, you can just be like, I'm glad we experimented, but like that's not something I think I want to keep doing. It didn't really feel that good. Thanks for experimenting. If that's something that like you guys had been trying to do, experiment. Because like you also don't want to kill the future of experimenting if that's the thing. So like if your goal is to experiment, you have to have this like, you have to have a way of addressing things so that you're not making your partner like feel extremely insecure for trying something new. Now I'm saying like if they like violated you, at that point, who even cares if you make them feel bad? Just be like, why the fuck did you do that? You know what I mean? But I'm saying like in a situation where you guys were both like experimenting, it's consensual, and then you're like, I don't think like I wanted to do that, but you don't want to kill this like vibe of like, hey, we're experimenting. Like you want to keep trying new things, but that just one thing didn't work. And I've seen the red light, green light game where you have the person either like stop at red light, or, oh wait, no, I think it's like, maybe it's red light and then a yellow light and a green light. So like the yellow light is like, maybe not like loving that. And then like they're doing something and you're like, yeah, like green light, keep going. That's really good. But then red light's not just like a stop everything. It's more just of a move on from that. Like, I don't want that. So it kind of like allows you to continue to be confidently experimental without completely shutting down your partner when you're trying new things. I think that could be really fun. I want to do that one day. I want to put my thumb in your butt. Oh, let's talk about vibrators and lube. Wait, porn, lube, vibrators. Okay. In a relationship, porn is obviously going to be a subject where you're wondering like what the boundaries are around it. Like, is porn cheating? What kind of porn does my partner watch? All these things. To me, I'm like pro porn. Not saying that like I think porn is this amazing industry. I think that porn can be fun. It can be a way for you to experiment. It can be a way for you to get curious about things. It's not necessarily always a bad, I don't always have a bad connotation around porn. I don't think porn is cheating. That's just my opinion. If you think porn is cheating, I honestly get it. I get it. But like, I can't imagine being in a relationship where my partner's like, you can't watch porn. Because like the porn I watch is not really like, I'm not like over here fantasizing about some man's penis on porn. Like, that's not really the porn I kind of watch. For me, I see no problem with porn. When it becomes addictive, I know like some people have porn addictions. This is like a whole nother story. I'm not talking about porn addictions, okay? Again, this is unprofessional advice. We don't know about porn addictions. But I think that it should be talked about. I think it could be hot. Like, porn can be something where you're like, what's like your search bar? Like, what's something that you've always been into? And I think what people search in porn and I think what people watch in porn, maybe it is just a fantasy and they don't want to try it in real life ever. But if they do, it's a way to like get into their sexual mind a little bit and think like, oh, like, do you want to try that? And it can be a fun conversation. As long as there's no insecurity behind it, then it can be extremely fun. It could be like, what do you watch? Or like, I know some partners, I've heard how like some partners can watch porn together and it's like, oh, I like this, I would want you to try this on me. Like, something like that can be really interesting. I think that's all I really have to say about porn right now. But I'm starting to get into this thing where I want to talk about vibrators because I think there's like some, I hate that people think this, but I've noticed there's something about like men feeling intimidated by like their partner having a vibrator. Don't be intimidated by a silicone. Are they silicone? They're silicone, right? I don't know. Guys, I promise you I have a good vibrator. Like, I'm not trying to say I have some like scary material going in my vagina. Vibrators are your friends. Like, they're not your enemies. If you're a man listening to this, you like get that into your head and like keep it there. Vibrators are your friend. They're there to help you out. They're not there to replace you. Like, if you're using a vibrator, if you're masturbating, like if your partner's masturbating or you're using a vibrator with them, it's not to say that like you can't do that yourself. It's just like a different feeling and that's okay. Like, yeah, no human person can make you feel exactly what the vibrator feels like. I don't know how else to say it, but like, don't feel insecure if your partner wants to use a vibrator or if they use a vibrator when they masturbate. It's not like, oh, I can never do that, so like I don't want her doing that. I don't know what I would even really say to that other than like vibrators are your friend because they're just amazing. They could do so many things and like they could be used in the bedroom to like spice things up. And if your partner's having a hard time having an orgasm, bring the vibrator in. And it's not like the vibrator is this other man that's making her orgasm. You could be the one holding the vibrator and you're the one controlling it. So if you want to come in with that, like, oh yeah, but I want to be the one to make her orgasm. Okay, like, let your ego down. Number one. And number two, a vibrator you can hold it. Like, hold it, okay? If you really are like, you don't want that vibrator to get the rep, you don't want the vibrator to get the award for making her orgasm, then hold it, okay? Hold it. The control is in your hands. That's the same thing with lube. Women don't get wet that easily. Some women, I read about this in my book. And I'm not going to say it perfectly, but I'm going to try to explain it. Women's arousal centers don't always match up to their genitals the way males do. So like, males will have a thought and they get a boner, right? They think they're about to have sex, whatever it is, they get a boner. Girls don't have that like quick response where their genitals are matched up with their arousal centers. If they're turned on and they're not wet, it doesn't mean that like them being dry like the Sahara Desert is your fault. Okay? They can be very turned on. Their vagina's just not responding the way they want it to. If you've got a super soaker, if you are somebody who has a vagina that you can squirt, which like, please teach me how, but like, if you have a vagina that can squirt or you get wet really, really easily, like, that's fucking awesome. But that's not the case for everybody. And don't feel insecure if your partner can't get wet. Yes, if your partner's really dry and she's not into it, you should maybe be like, hey, like, are you aroused? But like, obviously to check in. But if she is really aroused, there's no reason to feel insecure that her genitals are not matching how aroused she is in her mind. So lube is your friend. Use lube. I even use, like, oh my God, I don't even know why I wouldn't use lube. I think like the only time I wouldn't use lube if I was like ovulating. Lube is like so good. Why wouldn't you? Like lube is just going to make it all that more comfortable and like better. It doesn't mean that like you are weaker and you can't get your girl wet. So oh my god, we have to use lube. No, like lube is your friend. And when you can realize that all these things, vibrators, lube, these are your friends, not your enemies. Don't let it hit your ego and get you more insecure because it's something that you think is like a cheat. It's not. There's meant to be things brought into it. Maybe there's people that you guys want to bring into it. I'm not into that, but bring a vibrator into it. I'll be happy. And you will be too. And your girlfriend will be too if you're a man listening to this. If you're not in the vibrator world, there's many different types of vibrators, and we're going to go over a few of them. And I'm going to give you some suggestions. I think the first one that's always like a good one to get is a little bullet. A little bullet that vibrates. Because I think when you get your first one, you're a little bit nervous. And you almost like don't want to take up space. You don't want it to take up space. You feel weird about getting delivered. You just have all these weird feelings around getting a vibrator. And you're like, oh my god, like I need to have the most like normal looking vibrator ever. So if anybody ever finds it, like it needs to look normal, and I don't want to look like I'm a freak. I think everyone starts with the bullet. My funny story is me and my friend bought bullets, what we thought were bullets, and the picture looked the exact same. They were selling both sizes, and I accidentally bought us the gigantic one. It was the worst fucking vibrator ever. I threw that shit out in the trash. Like, me throwing a vibrator out in the trash is big. I think a good thing to get is a bullet, or you can get ones that are kind of like a bullet, but they're a little bit more like, if you could look at the camera, they're a little bit more like flatter. Those are also really good, and those just like go in your clip. If you want to get a little bit more advanced, then you could get into ones that either go inside you, or you can get ones that have this sucking motion. And I'm going to explain this because some people get confused by this. You know, when people make there's memes about the rose one. Oh my god. I'm going to see if I can comment the meme because it's actually really funny. So look in the comments on Spotify right now. Hopefully it's there. There's like the rose one, people refer to it. I refer to it as like the womanizer because the womanizer is like the expensive one that like I'm never going to ever buy. Actually, you know what? Maybe I'll get a man that wants to spend a ton of money on that. So what does matter? I have one actually. So I'm going to explain. It's supposed to go on your clit, like directly on it. I mean, I've put it below mine and it still works really well. And I can put it like on my vulva, wherever, and I still feel it. But this can go directly on your clit, and it's like you can put your thumb on it and you kind of can feel it slightly going in and out, but it's not like sucking you. Like, I think that's the mistake. People think that like this is like something that's like sucking up your clit. That's not happening. It's just like if you could put your thumb on it, you could like feel it. I think this type of vibrator is something that you should own. Like, if you're stepping it up and you don't just want a vibrating thing and you want to move into like the sucking motion, and I can say this with absolute confidence, like this is a orgasm machine. Like, if you want to orgasm quickly, you just put this on your clit and you're done within like, I can't, like, so quickly. It's more of like a quickie thing. Or like if you want to use it, it's going to be more of like a teasing thing because you can orgasm so quickly from it because it's just like direct stimulation to your clit. If you're using a vibrator, you can kind of play with it in a way where like you don't always have to be directly putting it on your clit or whatever it is. It can just be like on your vagina or in you, and whatever type of vibrator you have, that can eventually like make you orgasm. But I think the sucking motion is something that like is a different feeling, and it's something that I think everyone should feel. I remember being very confused by it, but it's interesting and it's different than a vibrator. It's different than just like feeling a vibration on you. So that's that. And I have one that does both, which is fucking awesome. I don't even use my other ones anymore. There's tons of different types. There's things that like suck your vagina, like literally like you pump it, and it like, I've never tried that because I think it's something about like the heat and the pressure of that happening. I don't know. There's dildos where they go inside you. I don't really need things to go inside me. I get like kind of bored. I don't really want to finger myself. I'm just like, nah. But like, have yourself a time. Order yourself a new vibrator, dude. Some vibrators are just like magical, and they're fun to experiment with, and they're fun to bring into the bedroom. If I have a partner where I'm not bringing a vibrator into the bedroom, I think there's gonna be like there would be something wrong. Like something would be going on. Oh my god, there's so many different types. Guys, just go on a website. Like, Adam and Eve has vibrators that I've gotten there. I've gotten, like, you can get a sale. If you want, like, a sale, you can go to Adam and Eve. I know Amazon has things, but, like, I don't know, my parents' Amazon. That ain't that fucking happening. So you could do that, or there's, like, I don't know how to say this brand, Bellasso. I don't know. I'm going to link it. I don't know what I would do without them. Oh, and here's another quick thing that I wanted to discuss that I just listened to on an episode with Sex with Emily. People think, like, oh, am I going to, like, damage nerve endings? I'm using my vibrator all the time. Your vagina's just getting used to it orgasming a certain way in a certain routine, maybe it is. Like, it's always your vibrator. It's always this routine. And that doesn't mean that you're, like, breaking your vagina and your vagina's never going to be able to, like, come from a man or come from another partner. It's just, like, that's been your routine, so your vagina's just used to that. But, like, there's nothing bad about having your vagina orgasm a similar way every time. She explained it like this, which I loved. She was like, think about, like, when you go to work, you could take a bike, you could take a car, you could take a train. There's all of these different ways to transport to work. It's just what you prefer. So if you are masturbating, you always prefer a vibrator, you're not going to damage your vagina and desensitize it forever. Your vagina just may be used to that, and it's not a bad thing. Oh, that's what it is. That's what partners get a little insecure about, is, like, they think that because their partner's using a vibrator that they're not going to be able to make their partner come without one. But, like, again, that's also, like, an ego thing in my head. Like, I feel like that's them being like, I need to be the one to do it. Maybe this beautiful, red, blossoming, amazing, womanizer, bullet, sucker, red hot vibe is going to make my orgasm even better. So fuck off. This was a really good episode. I got through a lot. Sometimes I get scared because I'm like, what if I, like, run out of things to talk about? But I never run out of things to talk about. I'm me. And also, I love this topic. I want you guys to, like, write in questions. Write in what you want me to talk about. Oh, I did. Wait, I actually did get responses. What? Guys, I asked. All right, we're going to end this podcast with questions from you guys. So I have 2 questions I'm going to read. Wait, this is so fire. Oh my God. So I asked my Instagram, miss_swole_shady, go follow, what they want me to talk about, like, when it comes to vaginas and sex. I got 2 things. Ready? Intimacy. My partner used a mirror for the first time, said it helped her feel good mentally. Yes. First of all, go her. Absolutely. See, that's a huge thing when you're younger too, is, like, you don't know anything about your vagina. And if you don't look in a mirror and you don't look up diagrams and you just don't understand the different parts of your vagina, you're not going to really be totally comfortable with it. And in order to have a partner become comfortable with your body, there's also an element of you being comfortable in your own body that's going to help both of you. They just said intimacy, so I don't exactly know what they mean by intimacy, but I think I can say for intimacy is not just, like I said earlier in this podcast, where, like, intimacy doesn't just have to be something that's sexual related. It doesn't need to be giving head and doing stuff below the belt. It can just be a deep conversation. It could be lighting the right scent, like lighting a candle with the scent that turns you guys on, or just, like, setting the mood, or just being really gentle with your partner that day. Or even if it's like you want to create a scenario where you're a little bit more rougher in bed, maybe you're being a little bit more dominant during the day. I think you could be intimate in so many different ways with your partner, and it does not have to be sexual. It can be through conversation, it can be through touch, and I think actually practicing being intimate with a partner without it leading to a climax can be so beneficial to see what you guys like, and just to build that intimate connection with a partner without maybe the pressure of sex. Said it helped her feel good mentally. I think when I read that, I just think about how this person is becoming more confident in their own body, and that's why they feel good mentally, because they're like, I'm starting to understand where my clit is. I'm starting to understand what my vagina looks like. And if you're the partner and you want to make her feel even better about it, compliment her vagina. Tell her what you love about it. I think that's a great exercise to help your partner feel more confident. The next one is the truth about self-pleasure for women and why no one talks about it. Guys, you are like, this hit right on the spot. Like, this question hits right on the G-spot. Like, come on, this is great. I mean, I talked about this a lot in this episode, but just to kind of respond directly to this is, like, I think the reason why nobody talks about it is because, like, our whole lives, it's always been about men fucking women and how many pumps they can get in until they're coming. A lot of porn is focused around the male gaze. And I think that just comes with, over time, like, I think men have always been, and I'm not saying, like, the men that are listening, like, this is your fault. It's more just like, can be what has just been normalized. It's like, men talk about jacking off. We say suck my dick more than we say suck my clit. We say my balls are sweaty a lot more than we say my vulva is sweaty and lick my pussy. We say suck my dick, you know what I mean? And it's just, like, normalized. I also think it has to do with parents. I think a lot of times when we're only told don't get pregnant, we're not told like what masturbating is. We're not told we can have pleasure. And it's just like not always in the cards. It's always like, dude, did she suck your dick? It's never like, did you give her good head? Did you use that tongue? Did you spell the alphabet? Which, by the way, don't do. Yeah, actually, I don't even know good tips for giving women head. So maybe we could talk about another podcast. And the truth about self pleasure for women. I think the truth about self pleasure for women, we are scared to open up that part of ourselves. And I mean that literally. We're scared to open up our legs sometimes. And I think if you have a partner who is scared to do things, like they're scared to do things, and I'm saying this is not trauma related, like this is not like they've been sexually assaulted, like this is just something where they're not totally sexually confident. If you can do the things that make them feel confident, not just by being like, yo, yeah, you look hot, babe, but it can just be like can we move slow? Is that something that can work for you? And having those conversations out of the bedroom, like what can make you more confident, and how can we go about that next time we have sex? Do we do more foreplay? Should I do like some compliments before? Do you like words of affirmation? Or is it something where like you want me to be touching you and like feeling like desired? Because at the end of the day, we all just want to feel desired. We want to feel confident in our bodies, and we want to feel like we can take on the world with our pussies. So I hope you guys enjoyed. And actually getting those questions from men just made me realize that this kind of is this podcast is really helpful for men to listen to. And I was gonna like apologize for a second, be like, sorry for all the crazy things I said, but like, no, because I literally started this podcast out being like, if you don't want to talk about periods and you think they're gross, then fucking leave. Like, I don't know what to tell you. You're immature and insecure. Like, learn about the female anatomy. I'm still learning about it myself. What can I say? So, yeah. I'm so happy. And I got 2 questions, guys. This is big for me. This is big for me. Okay. I love you guys, and please tune in again. And if you guys want to DM me questions or just wait till I post them on my story and you reply, absolutely love it. And maybe I'll release this one this Friday. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. We're going to release this Friday for you guys. Okay? Yeah. All right. See you guys soon. Talk soon. Bye.